This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. During the next hour, the insane Daryl Wayne and I are going to take a look at, well, a couple of things that touch each and every one of us. We're going to wrap up today's show. Daryl and I are going to talk about our thoughts about the Delta virus, what we're doing about it. Is there anything we can do as lay people? We've got a segment we're going to do today that has absolutely nothing to do with health. We're going to commemorate the 74th anniversary of the murder of Bugsy Siegel by a man who has investigated this, and I couldn't resist. It's a little bit out there, folks, but we'll do that. We are going to do something that I have been looking forward to for the last couple of weeks. We're going to go to Rochester, New York, and we're going to go to the Rochester Lifestyle Medicine Institute. We're going to talk to the founder and CEO, Dr. Ted Barnett. He is a fellow of the American College of Lifestyle Medicine. We did an interview or two with them a few months back, and we're going to talk about plant-based diets and how it can help improve the health, not only of people, but the health of the planet. Dr. Barnett, welcome to Late Night Health.
Thank you so much. It's really wonderful to be here.
I've got to ask, I have a friend. He's terribly overweight. He's got to be pushing over 300 pounds. He's big. He's a tall guy. He's probably 6'2", maybe 6'3". And his doctor put him on a modified keto diet. And he is dropping weight like you wouldn't believe. But he's eating meat and cheese, lots of protein, and very little carbs. Why is it working?
So that is a really interesting question. The keto diet, no question, people can lose weight on it. There's a couple of reasons. The theory is that you're going into ketosis because you're not taking in any carbohydrates, and that causes you to burn fat. But in fact, if you look at what people are actually taking in, they're probably taking in fewer calories than they were before. So in some sense, it's probably a calorie-restricted diet anyway. So it's working for maybe that's the reason. We're not really sure, 100% why it works. But the problem with the keto diet is that you're really mortgaging your long-term health. There's no question you can lose weight on it, but in the long term, I'm not a fan of that diet at all.
And at the same time, I've said to him, you're going to be sitting someplace and somebody's going to offer you a bagel, which I did, and he turned it down, or a pint of ice cream, or a cheesecake, something loaded with carbs, and he's going to go, I can't wait. And he's going to dive into it head first.
Mm-hmm.
Maintaining any kind of a diet, keto or not, isn't that the difficult part of trying to lose weight and staying healthy?
Sure. So, most people don't last very long on their diets. If it's really calorie restricted and they're really feeling hunger, the diet that we advocate, which is really the opposite of the keto diet, people can eat all they want. They just have to eat the right food, which would not include a bagel or cheesecake, but would include, healthy carbs, which is, sweet potatoes, whole grains, squash. So it's carbs are not forbidden, and neither are protein foods. So lots of, beans, and lots and lots of green vegetables, lots of green leafies. So we find that people don't really suffer with the diet that we advocate because they get to eat all they want. In fact, the first thing when we're kind of introducing them to the program, they often are saying, really? I get to eat all I want? And we just say, yeah, knock yourself out, eat all you want. It's just got to be the right food.
Of course, we're talking about the renowned Lifestyle Medicine Institute's 15-day Jumpstart program. I'm going to take it. I'm going to eat vegan for 2 weeks and see how I do weight-wise and I'll get some blood testing in there and let Dr. Barnett look at it and let me know if I'm on the right track. I am trying, along with my wife, to eat plant-based at least once or twice a week. Is that enough? Is that a good start, Doctor?
Well, it's obviously a good start. I mean, first of all, I'm so excited that you'll be joining us. It's really a fun and entertaining program, and I'm glad you're going to be getting your labs drawn before you start. You want to make sure you don't make any changes to your diet until you get your labs drawn, because people start to improve their diet before, then they won't be as excited. But we find that, within 2 weeks, you can find out whether we're telling you the truth, because, when we used to do it before, pre-pandemic, we used to do it in our office in Rochester. On day one, which was a Saturday morning, we would do finger sticks and give everybody their cholesterol levels. And then on day 15, after they'd been through the program, we do finger sticks and do their cholesterol levels again. And the average drop in cholesterol for people whose cholesterol was over 200 was 44 points. It's really quite remarkable. We have our record for a drop in cholesterol in just 2 weeks is 150 points. Now, that's unusual, but typically somebody in the cohort will drop 80 or 100 points. That happens frequently.
Wow.
And that's, it's really quite remarkable. And what I love about what we're doing is you can find out if I'm just an infomercial and I'm just selling you a bill of goods on your own in a pretty short period of time. It's like, as long as you believe the testing equipment isn't lying to you, it's pretty convincing that this really works. And probably your cholesterol is dropping a lot quicker than that. Probably in the first 4 or 5 days it drops, but there's no point in testing you that soon. So, it's really quite dramatic, and we've been very excited about the results.
Well, I'm going to go back to staying on the keto diet, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's difficult. Is it difficult to stay on a plant-based diet?
Right. So actually, I remember your original question was, is it okay to just do it for a couple of days a week? And I responded, any progression in that path is great. The question of whether you can stay on a diet like that. Now, we've been doing it for 30 years. I mean, we made the change back in 1991 when our kids were little, and one of them wasn't even born yet, based on the research of Dr. Dean Ornish. So I can tell you that our family has been on this plant-based journey, on this plant-based diet for 3 decades, and doing really, really well. I mean, we have no issues at all. Obviously, there are certain cultural issues around, getting together with other people, but we don't find that it's difficult to stay with it. And now restaurants and supermarkets are catering to people on a whole food plant-based diet. Now, you mentioned the word vegan. So a vegan just means no animal products. You can definitely be a junk food vegan, and we absolutely do not advocate that. We want you to be a healthy vegan, which means whole food plant-based. And when we have, if we have time later, we can certainly go into what our definition of that is. But you don't want to be a junk food vegan. It's just as bad as being on a standard American diet. But we think it's totally sustainable.
I know that when we come back, I'd like to discuss the modification of foods. Okay, if you're kosher, okay, and you don't eat bacon, for example, now they have kosher bacon. It can be soy bacon, it can be turkey bacon, and if you want a hamburger, you can now have a vegan hamburger. You don't want to get it necessarily at a chain restaurant because they're putting it on the same grill that they put the meat on. But I want to talk about those kinds of foods, or do we want to eat more natural foods? Our guest is the founder and CEO of the Rochester Lifestyle Medicine Institute, Dr. Ted Barnett. He doesn't know this. He's going to be on our cooking show in about a month, and he's going to help us cook some stuff. But we'll talk about that later on. This is Late Night Health. Join us at latenighthealth.com. You'll see a pretty picture of the insane Daryl Wayne and myself. And Late Night Health continues. Don't go away. More coming up.
If you're listening to Late Night Health right now, you're part of the growing target of baby boomers we're serving. Hi, I'm Daryl Wayne, producer of Late Night Health, inviting you to join the Late Night Health family. If you have any business targeting the growing boomer market, Late Night Health is the ideal advertising vehicle for you. From vitamins to insurance, alternative health to Western-style medicine, Late Night Health caters to the growing population of those over 40 years old. This vibrant demographic has expendable income to fight aging, purchase travel, take care of aging parents, or just have fun. Find out about the advertising opportunities with Late Night Health. Call us at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308, or email us at info@latenighthealth.com. That's info@latenighthealth.com. Join Late Night Health as we empower people to take charge of their own health care. Call now at 805-391-0308. That's 805-391-0308.
Late Night Health is proud of our partnership with the EBC, the Evolutionary Business Council. Check them out at ebcouncil.com.
You're listening to Late Night Health with Mark Alyn. The show continues in a moment.
Recently, I met Jacqueline from Bright here in Los Angeles. She gave me a hearing exam and then showed me how to hear again with the new Signia Pure Series hearing aids, and she can give you your life back too. I hear birds chirping, birds cooing, and even my wife. They easily connect to my smartphone. The Signia hearing aids are amazing, and with the charge and go, I don't have to fiddle with batteries and hear all day long. Not hearing is frustrating for you and your family. I know you don't have a problem, but trust me, call Bright Here now for a free hearing exam, a $125 value, yours free, just for making an appointment now. There are offices throughout the Los Angeles area. Call Bright Here now at 323-424-7100. That's 323-424-7100 for a free hearing exam. There's no obligation. Call now, 323-424-7100, or visit them on the web at brighthere.com. Late Night Health continues. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. We are talking about the renowned Lifestyle Medicine Institute's 15-day Jumpstart program. It's expanding globally, and that's because of Zoom and Skype and all the other technology that's available. And our guest is the founder and president, Ted Barnett. He is a lifestyle medicine doctor. He's been practicing for, over 30 years, and he still looks 39. So I don't understand that. Before the break, I was mentioning, specific foods. If you're kosher, you don't eat pork, but they have pork-like products, whether it's made out of plant-based or even other animals. You can have turkey bacon. You can have soy bacon. In the vegan world, there's burgers, there's sausages. Somebody just told me about a spicy Italian plant-based sausage that he said is really great. Are these things good for us, or should we be making our own food, doctor?
Well, that's a really interesting question. So in the vegan world, and the definition of vegan, of course, is just no animal products. So it can include processed food and oils and other fractionated foods. Really, to be healthy, we think you should be eating a whole food plant-based diet. And so what is a whole food plant-based diet? Well, a whole food plant-based diet is really eating plants as minimally processed as possible. Whole grains are even better, intact grains. So instead of, wheat flour or white wheat flour, you'd have whole wheat flour, or even better, intact wheat berries as part of your, the recipes that you're making. And whole beans. Beans are great. Whole vegetables. And then, of course, lots and lots of leafy greens. And lots of fruit. There's really nothing wrong with fruit, even for people with diabetes, if they're following our program. What we interestingly enough, we ask people to avoid anything that's fractionated. So that includes oil. So people ask, well, what about olive oil? Isn't that healthy? Well, olive oil is not as harmful to you as other oils, but it's really not a health food. So think of oil as being a fractionated food. You basically squeezed whatever the container was, whether it was an olive and you got the olive oil out, or it was a peanut and you got out the peanut oil. If you just ate the peanuts or ate the olives, that would be fine. That would be all part of a whole food plant-based diet. But when you start fractionating things, and that would include things like white sugar, which is highly fractionated and taken out of the sugar cane. So we really try to make it as simple as possible. And as you mentioned earlier, at the Rochester Lifestyle Medicine Institute, we have this 15-day whole food plant-based jumpstart. And during those 2 weeks, we ask people to not only eat a whole food plant-based diet, but also to eat a very low-fat whole food plant-based diet. So for the 2 weeks during the program, we don't want you to have any high-fat plant foods, and that would include things like nuts, avocado, olives, and coconut. So, and we found that we get incredible results. People actually really like it. They start to really look forward to it. So, yeah, I mean, that's been our experience. And for people who are willing to try it, we tell people, look, you're a grown-up. You can do anything for 2 weeks. Give it a try. And at the end, a significant majority of people say, this really worked. Not only do they say it wasn't so bad, they say, I really love it, and I'm going to stick with it because I've never felt this good.
One of the things that I keep saying on this show is that I eat for taste, okay? Now, at the same time, I try to eat healthy. I'm not 100% successful. I'll give myself a 65%, maybe a 70. I do eat whole grains. I do eat nuts. I don't normally eat peanuts. I do eat a lot of almonds and cashews. I love chocolate. It's a downfall, I know. And I could eat an avocado every day. And one of the things with an avocado, I put Worcestershire sauce on it. And I was looking at the ingredients recently on Worcestershire sauce. Lee and Parents, right? Mm-hmm. It's not. It has animal products in it. It has anchovies in it.
Right.
How careful do you have to be successful in your plant-based diet regimen?
Well, having accidentally getting Lee and Perrin's, Worcestershire sauce, that's not going to be your downfall. I mean, that's basically a salty food, and it's kind of like soy sauce. But it's generally speaking, for the things that are providing you lots of calories, that's where you want to really be careful. So, what you're putting on your food to make it taste better is probably not the big issue. The big issue is going to be where you're getting a lot of your calories. So, think about a baked potato, for example. A baked potato is extremely healthy, in spite of what you may have heard, and it's not a lot of calories. And maybe, depending on the size, maybe 70, 80, 100 calories just for the potato. But when people start putting butter and sour cream on it, now they've got something that may be 300 or 400 calories, and most of the calories are not coming from the potato anymore. So really think in terms of where those calories are coming from. Is it a plant-based whole food? And you can certainly take a baked potato and make it unhealthy with plant-based food. You could use margarine and soy sour cream or whatever you wanted. And again, you wouldn't be doing yourself any favors. You might decide that it really tastes good, and that might be why you do it. But one of the things about the modern industrial diet, or the standard American diet, SAD, is that it's very addictive. So we don't realize how addictive it is until we try to stop. And then, our experience is that it takes 3 or 4 days for that really withdrawal to take place. By day 5, most people are feeling pretty good about it. Some people never have that withdrawal, but the urges to be attracted to those types of food continue for 3 or 4 weeks. So you do have to be careful, I think, but it's worth it. I mean, it's really, what is your health worth? And most people find that if they just follow some pretty simple rules, they say, feel so much better. It's just not a big deal. I'm really happy to do this.
Yeah, I've heard that too. The other thing that I've noticed about some vegans is that they tend to at least look to me like they're overweight. I can think of at least 2 people that have been vegan for years, and they really need to lose at least 25 pounds each, maybe 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's really interesting. We've had a number of people go through our program who have been vegan for a long time, who said, gee, I never realized how I was kind of doing this wrong. And also, I didn't really believe you when you said I could eat all you want. So I'm thinking in particular of a young woman who, really sweet lady, who always said she was having trouble keeping her weight down. And on day 15, at the kind of when we were all talking at the end of the Jumpstart, this was back when we were live and doing it in our office before the pandemic, she got up and said, I really didn't believe you, but when you said eat when you're hungry, I didn't believe it, but I tried it. So she said, at night, before I go to bed, I might feel hungry. I have a baked potato or an apple. And she said, and in 2 weeks, I still lost 10 pounds. So it really is interesting how the human body really wants to heal as long as you put the right stuff into it. And that really means avoiding fractionated foods, such as white flour, white sugar, any of the oils. And it really is quite dramatic.
We're going to have to continue our conversation and have you come back. I hope you would like to do that soon. And we're going to have Dr. Barnett also give us some cooking tips on Mark Alyn Cooks Your Dinner, and we'll do that in about a month. If you want information, go to rochester-lifestyle-medicine.org. That's rochester-lifestyle-medicine.org. And you can look up about Jumpstart. And by the way, Rochester Lifestyle Medicine is a nonprofit. I didn't realize that until the doctor told me. Dr. Barnett, thank you very much for joining us today. We have more coming up here on Late Night Health. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne. Don't go away. Late Night Health continues. There's a lot of talk all over the internet about the remarkable benefits of Carbon-60, and baby boomers are especially excited about it. Greska's Carbon-60 is the premium Carbon-60, developed by an aerospace and NASA scientist. 95% of Greska's customers report positive results from this Nobel Prize-winning technology in just 4 days. Imagine more energy, better health, and more vitality. It's very bioavailable to quickly mend toxin-crippled cells. This is a super powerful antioxidant. Bob Greska is so confident that you'll love his Carbon-60, he wants to send you a bottle at 50% off the regular price. To see how life-changing this will be for you, call 720-600-6040. That's 720-600-6040. Visit c-60.com to learn more. Call 720-600-6040 now or visit c-60.com.
Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Words are a critical aspect of success. How you get your point across is a crucial part of what makes anything sell. So do it right and hire a writer. Whether it's articles, blog posts, technical writings, website content, product descriptions, or ghostwriting anything from a novel to a nonfiction book about your navel, contact Servet Hassan. If you want it to sell, write it right. Email Servet at servet@servethassan.com.